Hey everyone! Did you know some quarters you have can be worth a lot of money? They might look normal, but if they have small mistakes or are very clean and new, they can be worth thousands of dollars. In this video, I will show you how to find these special coins. Watch carefully, you might have a lucky coin in your pocket. Let's talk about the 1967 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. This coin might look like just another quarter in your change, but some people have made serious money from it. A rare one in top condition has sold for up to $5,500. Yes, just one quarter. Others in slightly lower grade can go for $3,000 or $2,000, depending on the condition and errors. That's why it's super important to check your pocket change. You might be holding a small treasure and not even know it. In this video, we'll go over the history of the 1967 quarter, why it has no mint mark, and the kinds of errors that make it worth big money. In 1967, the U.S. Mint stopped using mint marks on coins for a short time. This happened because people were saving coins that had mint marks, thinking they were more rare or valuable. So, the mint made coins without mint marks to try and stop the hoarding. That's why you won't see a P or D on your 1967 quarter. But don't let that fool you. Even though it doesn't have a mint mark, some of these quarters are still very rare, and collectors are willing to pay high prices for them. Most of the 1967 quarters are only worth face value, just 25 cents. But if the coin is in mint state condition, which means it has never been used and looks brand new, the value goes way up. A quarter graded MS68 can be worth more than $3,000. MS stands for mint state, and the scale goes up to 70. So, an MS68 coin is in almost perfect condition, which is very hard to find, especially for a coin from 1967. The better the condition, the more it's worth. There are also some special coins from 1967 called SMS coins. SMS stands for Special Mint Set. These coins were made for collectors and were not used as regular money. They have a nicer look and sharper details. Some of these coins also have something called a deep cameo finish. That means the design looks frosty and stands out from the shiny background. These SMS coins with deep cameo can also be worth over $2,000 or more, especially in high grade. One of the most exciting parts about the 1967 quarter is the error coins. These are coins that were made with mistakes at the mint. Some quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchet. For example, one might be struck on a penny blank, which makes it look smaller and gives it a copper color. This type of error is called a wrong planchet error, and some of these have sold for over $1,100 or even $2,000. Other errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and missing layers. These mistakes make the coin rare and very valuable to collectors. So if you find a 1967 quarter, don't spend it right away. Look at the details. Is it shiny and new looking? Does it have strange colors or design mistakes? You might want to get it checked by a coin expert or sent to a grading company. With a little luck, your 25-cent coin could turn into thousands of dollars. Keep watching, because next we'll talk about more rare and valuable coins you might have at home. Let's take a closer look at the 2022 P Mint Mark Maya Angelou quarter. This coin is not only beautiful, but it can also be worth a lot of money. Some of these coins have sold for $2,300 or even more. One perfect coin graded MS67 Plus was sold at Heritage Auctions for $2,375. That's a huge amount for a coin that was made just recently and has a face value of only 25 cents. You may have one sitting in your change right now and not even know it. That's why it's so important to check your coins carefully. In this video, we'll talk about the story behind this coin, what to look for, and how some small details can make a big difference in value. The 2022 Maya Angelou quarter was the first coin released in the American Women Quarters program. This program was made to honor important women in U.S. history. Maya Angelou was chosen for her powerful impact as a poet, author, and civil rights activist. She's best known for her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. This quarter made history because Maya Angelou became the first black woman ever to appear on a U.S. quarter. The design is bold and full of meaning. On the front of the coin, you still see George Washington, but this time he's facing right instead of left, which is different from older quarters. On the back, Maya Angelou is shown with her arms lifted, a bird behind her, and a bright sun in the background. The image represents freedom, hope, and her strong spirit. The P on the coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this version of the coin was made. Millions of these coins were made and released into everyday circulation. That means most of them are not rare. If the coin has been used or has scratches, it's likely worth just 25 cents. But if you find one that's in almost perfect condition, with no marks, no wear, and shiny surfaces, it could be worth much more. Coins that have been graded MS-67 or higher are the ones that bring in the big money. MS stands for Mint State, and the number shows the coin's quality. The highest grade is MS-70, which means a perfect coin. Only a few coins ever reach that level, especially if they were found in regular change. Now let's talk about the fun part, error coins. These are coins that were made with mistakes at the mint. Some Maya Angelou quarters have strange errors that make them special to collectors. One error is called the drooling George, where it looks like George Washington has a small line coming from his mouth. Another one is the nesting bird, where extra marks around the bird make it look like it's sitting in a nest. These errors can be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on how rare and clear the mistake is. The better the condition of the coin, the more it can sell for. So next time you get change, keep an eye out for the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter. Even though it's a new coin, it has a lot of value for collectors. If you find one that looks almost perfect or has a strange error, it could be worth much more than 25 cents. Let's talk about the 1965 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. This coin is known to be very common, but some rare ones have been listed for as much as $14,000. That's a huge number for a coin most people think is only worth 25 cents. You might even have one at home or in your coin jar right now. While not every 1965 quarter is worth a fortune, a few rare ones with special errors or in perfect condition have sold for thousands. That's why it's important to know what to look for, and in this video, we'll explain the details, history, and errors that can make a 1965 quarter so valuable. In 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in quarters and started making them with copper and nickel. This was a big change. Before 1965, quarters were made with 90% silver, but silver became too expensive, so the mint switched materials. Around this time, they also stopped putting mint marks on coins, which is why you won't see a P or D on a 1965 quarter. These coins were made at the Philadelphia Mint, just like the 1967 version. Because so many of these were made, most of them are still only worth face value. But a few special ones can be worth big money. The main reason a 1965 quarter would be worth thousands is either because it is in very high grade or it has a rare minting error. A regular 1965 quarter that is clean, shiny, and never used could be graded very high, like MS-67 or even MS-68. Coins graded that high are extremely rare. Most coins get damaged quickly once they are used. If you have one that has stayed in great shape for nearly 60 years, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Grading services like PCGS or NGC look at the surface, shine, and marks to give a coin a grade. The higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay. Even more exciting than high grades are the error coins from 1965. Some of the most valuable are the ones that were struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a few quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These are rare and can be worth over $7,000. Others were struck on planchets made for pennies or nickels. These are called wrong planchet errors, and if you find one, you could be looking at a coin worth $5,000 or more. There are also other types of errors like double die errors, where the design is stamped twice by mistake, or off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is not centered properly. These types of errors are rare and can raise the value of a 1965 quarter to 4 or even 5 figures if the coin is in good shape. So if you come across a 1965 quarter, don't spend it right away. Look closely. Is it in great shape? Does it look strange or different? Even the smallest error or shine might make it special. Some of these coins have been sold at auctions for thousands, and you never know, one could be hiding in your pocket or change jar right now. Keep watching to learn about more rare quarters that might be worth big money. Let's take a closer look at the 1979 no mint mark Washington quarter. This coin has been talked about for being worth as much as $9,000, which is a huge number for a regular quarter. While most 1979 quarters are common and found in everyday change, a few rare ones with perfect condition or minting mistakes have sold for thousands. One high-grade quarter from this year sold for about $1,440, which is still a lot of money for a coin that normally just buys gum or a soda. In this video, we're going to show you what makes some 1979 quarters so special, why collectors want them, and how to spot one that could be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In 1979, millions of Washington quarters were made at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of that, most of them have no mint mark, which is normal for coins from Philly at that time. These coins were made of copper and nickel and were used by almost everyone across the country. Most 1979 quarters you find today are worn down from years of use and are only worth face value. But if you find one in really great condition, one that has never been used and still looks brand new, it could be worth a lot more. A quarter that is graded MS-68 or higher is very rare, and collectors will pay good money for it. Grading companies look at how clean and sharp a coin is. MS means mint state, and the scale goes up to 70. A grade of 68 means the coin is nearly perfect. Besides condition, there's another thing that can raise the value of a 1979 quarter: errors. Some quarters were made with mistakes at the mint, and these errors make them much more valuable to collectors. One kind of error is a double die, where part of the design looks like it was stamped twice. This can happen with the date, the lettering, or even George Washington's face. Another type of error is an off-center strike, where the image is not in the middle of the coin. These are easy to spot and can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how big the mistake is. Then there are clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin is missing, and wrong planchets, where the quarter was made on the wrong metal, like a penny blank. Some people also talk about repunched mint marks, which is when the mint mark was stamped more than once. This usually happens on coins from Denver or San Francisco, but collectors still look closely at Philadelphia coins just in case something rare shows up. While the $9,000 price tag may be from a rare auction or an extremely unique coin, even finding a 1979 quarter worth a few hundred or over $1,000 is possible if the right error is there or if the coin is in perfect shape. So next time you get a quarter from change, look at the date. If it's 1979 and doesn't have a mint mark, take a closer look. Check the condition, and look for anything strange or unusual in the design. You could be holding on to something that collectors are willing to pay big money for. Let's talk about the 1977 no mint mark Washington quarter, which has been listed with a value as high as $9,200. That number may sound unbelievable, but rare coins with special features or perfect condition can really be worth that much. While most 1977 quarters are very common and only worth face value, some have sold for thousands because of serious minting errors or because they were kept in perfect shape for many years. That's why you should always look closely at old coins in your pocket or coin jar. In this video, we're going to explain what makes the 1977 quarter so interesting, how rare errors can boost its value, and why condition matters so much. The 1977 Washington quarter was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which means it has no mint mark. At that time, millions of these quarters were made for everyday use. They were struck using copper-nickel clad metal, just like other quarters made after 1965. Because they were made in such large numbers, most of them are not rare. You can still find 1,977 quarters in your change, and in most cases, they are only worth 25 cents. Even if they look shiny, unless they are in top condition or have an error, they won't sell for more than $1 or $2. What makes some 1977 quarters valuable is a mix of two things: condition and errors. When a coin is in mint state condition, especially graded MS67 or higher, it means the coin has no scratches, no marks, and still looks brand new. These high grades are rare because most coins are used and damaged over time. A coin in MS67 or MS68 condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how few like it exist. Some coins that have this kind of grade, along with a rare error, are the ones that reach values as high as $9,200. Now let's talk about the errors. Mint errors are mistakes made during the coin-making process. One common error that adds a lot of value is the clipped planchet. This is when a piece of the coin is missing, usually on the edge, and it looks like someone took a small bite out of it. Another rare and valuable error is the missing clad layer, where the top layer of the coin is gone, exposing the copper underneath. These coins look strange with an odd color or dull surface and are easy to spot. A third type of error is a striking error, where the design is pressed off-center or in the wrong spot. These mistakes can raise the coin's value by a lot, especially if they are clear and the coin is still in good shape. Collectors love finding coins that are both rare and in excellent condition. Even though there's no confirmed sale at exactly $9,200, some 1977 quarters have sold for thousands because they had the right mix of grade and error. So if you find a 1977 quarter, take a good look. Check if anything about it looks strange or different. If it looks almost perfect or has a minting mistake, it could be worth much more than 25 cents. It's always worth checking with a coin expert or grading company. Keep watching to learn about more coins that could be hiding right in your pocket. Some regular quarters can be worth thousands of dollars if they have rare errors or are in perfect condition. It's important to check your change carefully because even small differences can mean big value. Minting mistakes, special designs, and high-quality coins attract collectors who pay top dollar for them. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and click the bell so you won't miss any tips on finding valuable coins. Keep hunting for those hidden treasures.